Not a reshuffle, but super overhaul. Team Modi's younger, sharper faces. Big entry of lawyers, engineers and doctors. Team Modi in super Sabka Saath mode. Nari Shakti with 11 women mantris. Modi's new army for biggest challenge. Meet the Sena who'll make India number one.
The all-new Modi team has already got down to business, and the newly minted promoted ministers as well have taken charge of their respective portfolios. The Prime Minister also chaired a meeting with his revamped cabinet, while the focus of this overhaul is primarily to increase performance, efficiency of the union government. But the question is, will these new faces also re-energize, revamp Modi Sarkar's image in the next few years? Take a look.
First day, first show of the newly minted mantris. Day after taking oath, an all-new Team Modi got down straight to business. The newly appointed I&B and Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur was the first to take charge.
जो जिम्मेदारी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मुझे दी है, मैं उस पर खरा उतरने का हर संभव प्रयास करूंगा. जो विश्वास व्यक्त किया है उस पर खरा उतरने का प्रयास करूंगा.
Former IAS officer Ashwini Vaishnav took charge of crucial two ministries, Railways and Information Technology and Communications.
I thank Honorable Prime Minister for giving me this very big responsibility. Railways is a subject which is very close to Honorable Prime Minister's heart. His vision is huge and I will work hard to implement his vision. Railways is already, last 7 years, lots of good work has been done and it will be my responsibility to take it forward.
With the Twitter versus Centre war already raging, the new IT minister has his task cut out. And on his debut, he had this warning for the social media giant.
भारत में रहने वाले हर व्यक्ति को, भारत में काम करने वाली हर कंपनी को, सभी को भारत के नियम मानने चाहिए.
अगर वो नहीं मानते, क्योंकि आपकी तरफ से नोटिस गया वो मंत्रालय
पूरा इसका स्टडी करूंगा.
Kiran Rijiju, who has been promoted to a cabinet rank, took over as the new law minister.
Whatever charge comes to us, whatever responsibility is assigned, we have to discharge it with full commitment.
Mansukh Mandavia, who will be leading India's COVID fight back now, assumed office as the new health minister.
स्वास्थ्य मंत्री के रूप में प्रधानमंत्री जी की अपेक्षा के अनुसार मैं काम करने की कोशिश करूंगा.
The new Modi cabinet boasts of Nari Shakti with 11 women ministers, the highest representation since 2004. MOS External Affairs and Culture, Meenakshi Lekhi, was the first woman minister to take charge.
प्रधानमंत्री जी सशक्त महिलाओं को जिम्मेवारी देकर भारत को सशक्त करने की बात कर रहे हैं. यही पुरानी नीति और अब की नीति में अंतर है.
MOS Health Bharti Pawar, MOS Agriculture Shobha Karandlaje and MOS Commerce and Industries Anupriya Patel too hit the ground running.
एक बहुत ही अच्छा विभाग है, मेरे लिए नया विभाग है, एक लर्निंग अपॉर्चुनिटी है, बहुत कुछ सीखने का अवसर भी होगा.
The opposition, however, is unimpressed with Team Modi's new lineup. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi took a jibe at the new health minister.
For 7 years, among various unfulfilled promises of Prime Minister Modi, is the promise of the Women's Reservation Bill. He said immediately that will be passed. We passed it in the Rajya Sabha during the UPA time. That has been pending for 7 years. If the concern is so much for women, why is that bill not being passed?
The new ministers have their task cut out. A raging pandemic and a COVID-infected economy are the two big challenges that will need immediate attention.
The mid-term cabinet reshuffle saw many political heavyweights exit out. With that, expectations have mounted on the new ministers, especially amidst a raging pandemic and an economy under stress. And with the Prime Minister keeping a close watch, it is a tightrope walk for the ministers with little margin for error. With video journalist Hitesh, this is Mosmi Singh in Delhi for India Today.
The ministers clearly have their work cut out. There will be 5 ministries specifically that would be watched very, very closely. They have a mammoth task at hand, from tackling the COVID pandemic, which is still ongoing, to jump-starting the economy of India. We now decode the possible deliverables of the new Modi cabinet. Take a look.
Brand new team Modi checks in. Fresh ideas, fresh faces. Ministers hit the ground running after taking oath on Wednesday. They have their task cut out. A raging pandemic affecting schools and exams, a troubled aviation sector, and a massive face-off with microblogging platform Twitter, and legally shielding Modi government's governance drive. We check 5 big deliverables of key ministries. Amidst the COVID pandemic, all eyes are on Mansukh Mandviya, the new Union Health Minister. Preparing for the third wave and ensuring there is no repeat of earlier mistakes would be the top priority for the Health Minister. Also on priority will be boosting health infrastructure, ramping up the vaccination drive, and helping medical students in COVID war.
स्वास्थ्य मंत्री के रूप में प्रधानमंत्री जी की अपेक्षा के अनुसार मैं काम करने की कोशिश करूंगा.
Schools, colleges and education system have been hit hard, and Dharmendra Pradhan is the man tasked to find a robust solution. On his target will be restarting schools and streamlining exams. Jyotiraditya Scindia, following in his father's footsteps, has bagged the Civil Aviation Ministry, and managing the post-pandemic resumption of passenger flights will be his top priority. Navigating the international flight ban and overseeing Air India's disinvestment would be something he would be judged on.
जो जिम्मेदारी उन्होंने मुझे दी है, पूरी लगन से, पूरी निष्ठा से और पूरी क्षमता से इस जिम्मेदारी को निभाने की मैं कोशिश करूंगा, और मुझे आशा है कि जो अपेक्षाएं हैं उन अपेक्षाओं पर मैं खड़े उतरूं.
The new IT laws are a big flashpoint between Twitter and Centre, and settling the dispute will be a big challenge for the new IT Minister, Ashwini Vaishnav. Overseeing the rollout of India's 5G network and boosting reach of Modi's Digital India would be among his top priorities.
भारत में रहने वाले हर व्यक्ति को, भारत में काम करने वाली हर कंपनी को, सभी को भारत के नियम मानने चाहिए.
अगर वो नहीं मानते, क्योंकि आपकी तरफ से नोटिस गया, वो मंत्रालय
पूरा इसका स्टडी करूंगा.
Law graduate Kiran Rijiju has been given the law ministry.
What I'm saying is, whatever charge comes to us, whatever responsibility is assigned, we have to discharge it with full commitment. We are collective, people working together as a team. So these are collective responsibilities. As a member of the Council of Ministers, we all are part of the same team.
Delivering on BJP's promise of uniform civil code, streamlining the fight over sedition law and UAPA are his big hurdles. Implementing the Citizenship Amendment Act and harmonizing central policy with opposition states are also on his priority list. Bureau Report, India Today.
Amid a face-off with the social media giant Twitter, Union Minister of State now for IT, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, spoke to India Today's consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai. Listen in to what he has to say.
I know you've been very vocal about this,
Yes.
which is one of the first challenges that you're going to face, which is how to deal with social media. You've seen what's happened with Twitter, and some believe there is speculation that Ravi Shankar Prasad, the previous minister, paid a price for this fractious relationship that he had with social media giants. You know, it was making the headlines virtually every day. You've also spoken out as a BJP spokesperson on it. Do you believe that that issue has to be taken to its logical conclusion, that all social media companies or anyone in the digital world also has to conform to Indian laws?
No, look, I think the Union Minister for IT, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, and I have just taken charge today. These are all important questions. I don't.
No, but you've already, because in your previous avatar as a BJP spokesperson and indeed someone who has been talking on this often, you've been very clear that you believe that these social media giants have to conform to Indian laws.
Yeah, I don't think there is a man, woman or child in India that wouldn't agree with the proposition that anybody doing any work in India should conform to Indian law. What is so controversial about that? That is a simple...
yeah, but it's become very fractious and,
I was referring to that point of yours.
Yes.
I was saying that to the question of whether it's fractious or not, I think you need to give this new team in METI an opportunity to study the issues, understand the issues. There is a cabinet minister there, there is a minister of state there, there is a full team of people there. We will study these issues and come back to the public and the media at the appropriate time.
Because there's a belief that, you know, whether it's digital media, whether it is these sort of global giants, all of them need a regulatory framework that is transparent, that is fair,
absolutely,
and that applies to all.
And this is not a uniquely Indian idea. This is an issue that the world, economies of the world and governments of the world and democracies of the world are having to deal with. There are some countries like China that deal with it by just completely banning them, not allowing them access. And there are many countries that are having to deal with this. For democracies like India, these platforms do represent a challenge in terms of regulation. And what will be the nature of the regulation, what ought to be the nature of the regulation, what should be their role, what should be the government's role, what should be the institutional capacity built to regulate these entities. These are all issues that the new team...
The criticism is that it could lead to misuse of police powers, arbitrariness or authoritarianism, and will be used to clamp down on free speech. Will be used to clamp down on free speech.
Look, nobody can clamp down on free speech in India. We know it. It's a guaranteed fundamental right. So, I mean, just because somebody huffs and puffs about it...
No, it's guaranteed in the constitution, but in reality there have been instances where governments, yours and others have clamped down.
You remember during the UPA government, Section 66A, I went to court, I raised it in Parliament, nobody did anything about it, and the Supreme Court struck it down. There are courts, there are processes of judicial intervention if anybody feels that the right to free speech is being curbed. It's a guaranteed fundamental right, Rajdeep. This is not some women fancy thing. So I think just repeating that, saying that we are under threat is all, you know, we are just contributing to a chaotic, confused sort of a argument or a discourse. There is no, especially this government, there is going to be never any threat or challenge to the right to free speech.
One of the key focus areas this time in the Union Cabinet will be the Ministry of Cooperation. The fact that Union Home Minister Amit Shah himself has taken the additional responsibility of the ministry indicates the importance Prime Minister Narendra Modi attaches to the newly minted ministry. Some argue it is a game changer, a ministry that will coordinate with cooperatives across different states in the country for a victory for all stakeholders possibly.
The government is committed to the development of multi-state cooperatives and will provide all support to them. To further streamline the ease of doing business for cooperatives, I propose to set up a separate administrative structure for them.
Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in her budget speech spoke of setting up the legal and administrative framework for a mechanism to strengthen the cooperatives. The framework that would enable development of multi-state cooperation.
Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi.
On Tuesday, the Narendra Modi government announced the setting up of the Ministry of Cooperation. The government in a statement said the ministry will provide a separate administrative, legal and policy framework for strengthening the cooperative movement in the country. It will help deepen cooperatives as a true people-based movement reaching up to the grassroots. The ministry will work to streamline processes for ease of doing business for cooperatives and enable development of multi-state cooperatives.
देश का प्रोग्रेस और प्रॉस्पेरिटी सबसे ज़्यादा प्रायोरिटी है प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के लिए। विज़न तो पूरे की पूरी सरकार का है और अमित भाई एक बहुत ही अनुभवी लीडर हैं, उनका राज्य से लेकर के और केंद्र तक बहुत अनुभव है।
On Wednesday, Union Home Minister Amit Shah was given additional charge of the Ministry of Cooperation, an indication of the importance Prime Minister Narendra Modi attaches to this ministry. The move is aimed at galvanizing the cooperatives across the country and putting an end to the exploitation of farmers by middlemen.
To implement this constitutional amendment uniformly all across the country, there was definitely a need for such a separate ministry, dedicated ministry for this. Under the fourth industrial revolution, jobs are going down. So it is required that some kind of model is required to be created once again to create jobs at all the levels, right from the village level to everywhere.
However, the opposition is not impressed and sees the move as a way to break the ongoing farmers' agitation.
Under the Indian Constitution, 7th schedule, cooperative societies are a state subject. Centre has no jurisdiction in wanting to control them. We are warning the people, and I think in the Parliament also will take up this issue. No changes in the Constitution permitting central interference.
The government hopes to create many success stories like Amul by bringing not just farmers but also dairy, livestock and fisheries sectors together and form multi-state cooperatives. The aim is not just to increase income of farmers but also productivity of land. Bureau Report, India Today.
Jyotiraditya Scindia has bagged the Civil Aviation Ministry this time, like his father, Madhav Rao Scindia. Jyotiraditya's achievement is clearly similar to his father also in more ways than just this one. Here's now a report on the political journey of the father and the son.
An illustrious father, a flamboyant son.
मैं ज्योतिरादित्य माधवराव सिंधिया
30 years apart, Jyotiraditya Scindia following his father, Maharaja of Gwalior Madhav Rao's footsteps. Bagging the very portfolio of civil aviation which was nurtured by Scindia Sr. from 1991 to 1993. Aptly rewarded for delivering Madhya Pradesh to the BJP with his coup which upstaged Kamal Nath's government. Jyotiraditya's feat is similar to his father in more ways than one. Madhav Rao Scindia, who was a long-time Gandhi family loyalist, had also turned a rebel against the Congress. Both the Scindias served as union ministers before assuming the charge of the all-important Civil Aviation Ministry. Madhav Rao served as a railways minister in the Rajiv Gandhi government, while Jyotiraditya had served as a Minister of Communication and Information Technology in the Manmohan Singh government. Madhav Rao had worked as a Jan Sangh leader before joining the Congress after the emergency crackdown by the Indira Gandhi regime. Jyotiraditya joined the BJP after complaining of neglect by the Gandhi family. Political similarities aside, both are viewed as sophisticated, suave and articulate by their peers. Jyotiraditya may want the similarities to end though, since the senior Scindia saw a tumultuous time as aviation minister, facing agitation by Indian Airlines staff and finally quitting over a plane crash in which no one had died.
मैं ज्योतिरादित्य माधवराव सिंधिया ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ.
The Gwalior royalty has his task cut out, taming the loss-making Air India, ironically monikered Maharaja, and fighting the COVID-induced turbulence in the aviation sector. Bureau Report, India Today.
The Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections are just a year away, and the Modi government has inducted 7 ministers from the state of Uttar Pradesh in this latest cabinet rejig. The Saffron Party has tried to include a mix this time. There are representatives from the Brahmin groups, the Dalit groups, also the other backward castes inducting the ministers that have been chosen. Abhishek Mishra with this report. Take a look.
मंत्रिमंडल के सदस्यों का
With the battle for Uttar Pradesh less than 6 months away, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has attempted a bit of social engineering. 7 new faces from India's most populous state are now part of Team Modi. 2 years after being dropped from the Modi cabinet, Apna Dal Sonelal leader Anupriya Patel makes a comeback into the government.
कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित
A prominent Kurmi face in eastern UP, Patel is a key BJP ally in the Saffron Party's 2022 mission UP. BJP MP from reserved constituency Agra, SP Singh Baghel gives representation to Dalits, who have backed the party in recent elections.
प्रोफेसर SP सिंह बघेल ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित
The BJP has tried to include a mix of Brahmin and OBC faces from Uttar Pradesh, one of the deciding factors in the upcoming assembly elections. In doing so, the party has tried to blunt accusation of Thakur bias under Yogi Adityanath government in UP. But Nishad Party isn't happy with Prime Minister Modi's cabinet arithmetic. They say exclusion of Praveen Nishad from Prime Minister's cabinet is a betrayal to the whole Nishad community.
निषाद अब आज के मतलब सोच रहे हैं कि धोखा हो रहा है, जो पिछली सरकारों ने धोखा दिया वही धोखा मिल रहा है। हम तो संयम से बैठे हुए हैं, धैर्य से बैठे हुए अपने आरक्षण के लिए कि सरकारों का दर्द दिल में है, दगाबाज सरकारों का दर्द दिल में है और जो है आज दिल मुश्किल में है।
With the induction of 7 new ministers including the ally partner, BJP has balanced the caste arithmetic in view of the UP Assembly elections. With the election just months away, the central leadership has taken the step towards targeting the battle for 2022. In Lucknow, Abhishek Mishra for India Today.
This mega cabinet expansion was a mammoth exercise, also to an effect more than just a facelift. The new look that Modi cabinet has seen, there were purge of many old guards who were specifically from the erstwhile Vajpayee era. Shedding the baggage, is it, of the past and infuse new blood? Take a look at this special report.
मैं ज्योतिरादित्य माधवराव सिंधिया
मैं नारायण तातुरानी
मैं अश्विनी वैष्णव ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ
that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India.
A massive overhaul in Team Modi. That much more than a cosmetic overhaul. As many as 12 heavyweights falling by the wayside. The host of new faces signaling a firm shift. As many as 36 newly minted ministers, a more than generous dose of young blood being infused. The mammoth exercise saw some vestiges of erstwhile Vajpayee government getting removed. Some of the big names which were associated with the bygone era in BJP. Ravi Shankar Prasad losing the mighty IT ministry. Prakash Javadekar forced out of the INB ministry. And Dr. Harshvardhan losing all important health portfolio. Even veteran Santosh Gangwar missed the cabinet bus. Only Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi marking themselves safe from the big cabinet purge. But the Vajpayee era still holds influence.
अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा.
New Rail and IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav cut his teeth as a Deputy Secretary in Vajpayee's PMO briefly. All the Modi's men signaling a dwindling old guard. The complete overhaul signals energy, experience, expertise and poll priorities. More importantly, a new Team Modi trying to break free from the baggages of the past. Bureau Report, India Today.
And that was our special show on Modi's new dream team. Well, it's a test that's only begun. It's a wrap on this bulletin for now. Thank you so much for watching. You can always log on to indiatoday.in for all the latest.